Oh, Teza. What the well, I wanted to talk to you basically, right? Because to be just completely honest, you prior obviously that whole Hydra situation happened, right? It was an oversight on your end. I'm guessing you was just in a mood where you was just a bit bored and you just thought, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
It was more, I was just like hitting licks, and then whatever I got, like mats wise, I was just gonna give to the group like I normally do.
Yeah. Well, basically, up until that point, right? Oh my god, I'm getting so many calls. Winston from a Kingston. Love that guy. Yeah, like, I'll be honest, if that Hydra thing didn't happen, you would have already been brought back to hang around. I was like, even if you spoke to Steve, we'd all had a conversation. The whole group had basically had a conversation. Everyone was kind of like, yeah, to bringing you back. Because like you was like all the Sani you was doing, like even the DLDs, like you were DLDing, but you was doing it on only people that like it wasn't a problem bringing the mats to us, whatever. Literally, probably day after, if not a couple days after that happened, I would have fucking come and linked you and given you hang around again and like laid out and been like, look, like good shit. That Hydra thing, obviously added a bit of a spanner in the works because it's like I still like, bro, your path to the gang is still there. Like I want you to come back in it. But the issue was, in an ideal world, I would have loved to just go fuck it. Like, oh, he made that mistake, but I'll bring him back anyway. Because the Terry you was, bro, doing all that Sani and shit like that, that is not like you. So I respect the fuck out of that because you proper like evidently showed a switch in it. The Hydra thing, like, obviously knocked it back a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure that you was aware as well. Like, that was a fuck up, but you are like, you was very close at that time. You still are close. So it's just, I want to see that that's not going to be a recurring thing because that Hydra issue seemed a little bit kind of like along the same lines as the issues that was existed before, right? Whereas like that I don't really care attitude, and I genuinely don't give a fuck about and I don't give a shit attitude when it's applied at the right times. I think the group without someone with your energy is going to get too used to being passive, and then it becomes like, you know, getting into things and exchanges when you haven't got like almost like a aggressive hype man becomes a bit more common. But there's literally a handful of things we have to follow, and that's all I need. Like, as soon as I know with confidence I can bring you back in here, and there's like a very clear set of like things we follow of, you know, if people work for these groups, we don't rob them. It doesn't matter if, you know, you wake up one day and you're just feeling extra devious, like you just stick to those things, you follow those rules that are set, and then outside of that everyone just does them, you know. And that's why I wanted to talk to you, to just let you know, because on my end and your end, there hasn't really been a conversation to let you know where you're at. So I wanted you to know that you was close, and then that's just like knocked it back a little bit. But that path is still right at the end of that path. I just need to know 100% that those recurring issues are gone, because the thing I'd hate to do is bring you back in, do it prematurely, then like one day you just go against, I don't know, I'm not around, you go against something Steve says, and then it puts us in an awkward situation of, I don't ever want to have to cast you away from this group and never see you come back, because I'd really like you being here. But, you know, if you got kicked for a reason, came back to the group, and then within a week or so you've done the same thing again, like it puts us in an awkward position. And it puts me in an awkward position where, like, I wouldn't want it to be that way, but you kind of making yourself an example. Even you getting kicked in the first place, right? Like, you are the first example of someone that's been kicked from the group. So yeah. I just don't want to have to make an example again. But I want to make it a bit more clear for you as well, because for like, as long as there's set in stone things you know that is like cool and what isn't, it's probably easier. And now I feel like now that you got the racing thing as well, like even the fucking pizza stand, like fucking DJ told me you put in like 7 hours there doing a shift and shit. Like, we have got a lot more things we can do now as well. So I think you would find it easier to like fill your time and not get drawn into doing dumb shit.
I was there earlier as well. There's like, I will say one thing, yeah. I wouldn't have done that Hydra shit. Your bike's being robbed.
There's no way they've just had my fucking bike. There's no way they've had.
It was JJ.
He's had me fucking bike.
Oh, no bad, mate.
We'll go get that back in a minute.
Yeah.
You were saying, sorry?
I would have never have done that Hydra shit if I was in the Manor though. You know what I mean?
And I know that, but I think, because the mentality you was on, correct me if I'm wrong, right, is I'm not Manor. If I go and do some shit, it's not going to affect them because I'm just me, right? Like, that's how you were seeing it. Like, if I'm saying fuck Hydra, that's not the Manor saying fuck Hydra. That's Terry saying fuck Hydra.
Yeah. I'm not trying to throw, like, Kenny's my boy, innit? I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or anything like that. Like, I'm there as my own person, and Kenny was there as Manny, but Kenny could have just backed out at any moment. You know what I mean? Whereas my thought process was, I'm not in the Manor at this point, so there's not gonna come back on the Manor. That's why
But
I went through with it.
Kenny is what made it a problem, not Kenny himself. Like, I mean, kind of, because he should have said to you like, nah, you got like, don't run this while I'm here. If you're out by yourself on your dolo and you do some shit, or it's with like a bunch of non-mana people, like I'm talking like not even pushers, right? Then in theory, yeah, like none of us have any say over what you do. You're not in the gang, right? But because you was with Kenny and because you was like, you know, you've been trying to get back in the group and you go and do it with someone in the Manor, even though you don't want to involve the Manor and you want it to stay a non-mana thing, you know, like if Flippy gets vexed about that, it becomes a Mana thing.
No, yeah, I do get that. I just don't. I do get it, but I don't see like Kenny being there on his own accord is like my issue. You know what I mean? Like my fault.
Yeah, I mean, it is like I had a conversation with Kenny as well and put a lot of blame on him also because in that scenario, when you've got a non-gang member and you've got a gang member, it's on the gang member to dictate what's right and wrong, right? If they're like, if you're there with Mana should be telling you, don't rob that person. We got to deal with them. In theory.
Yeah, like if that was said, I would have backed off. And like, is it like if I was Manor or like a hang around again, I wouldn't even have done that. I would have just left it because I was just doing my thing. I just did it anyway. Just thought I'll deal with any repercussions off like Hydra or anyone by myself, innit? Because I was even saying to Matt that if they end up mentioning it, like obviously don't just throw me under the bus and say that I did it at the time. But also, like, if they ever come to me, I'll just say that I did it with a random guy. Like, I'm not even going to say I did it with the Manor, even though I did. Yeah. I wasn't trying to involve the Manor.
Yeah, I know you weren't going there to try and fucking start a problem, like, with Hydra for the Manor. No, it was never the move. But, like, that situation was squashed, fortunately. It was, like, a thing of... It ended with Flippy of, like, he was more pissed at, you know, if they're sanitation workers, even if it's, like, an accident and we end up giving the stuff back, it's more that, like, every time that they get pulled up on, them Sani workers are less likely to go and do Sani in general, and then everyone's missing out on materials. It's not about the people you rob or whatever. It's about, you know, them potentially losing materials. But it was one of them situations, right? You and Kenny was in very two different minds. And like, love to Kenny, but he's not the most assertive in situations, right? He's just very laid back, so he's not going to put himself there and be like, yo, don't do this. He's just going to roll with it. But like I said, I spoke to him. It's just one of them. I basically just wanted to tell you, like, if you're telling me that wouldn't have happened if you're Manor, like, that's a positive. I think that makes, you know, that's better for me to know because like, I didn't know that before.
Because that's like, I even said it to Matt, like, I'm not, if it comes to me, I'm just not going to mention the Manor at all. Like, I'll just say I did it with some random guy who's not even a part of a gang. Like, that kind of proves that I wasn't trying to get the Manor involved.
No, I do believe you. I do believe you wouldn't have done it if you was Manor. But I just hadn't even thought about it in that sense that, like, would you have done that if you was Manor or not? But regardless, like, it could have caused a problem for us. It's like knocked back a little bit just because it concerned me that there's like similar traits of like what you was kicked for in that issue. But
you know me though, if I'm not like,
is gone. What are you gonna say?
Like, you know me though, if I'm not like a part of the Manor and shit, you know, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? It's not like, but like since you've told me not to do DL, like I'm not robbed a single person since you've said it.
Yeah. No, I know you listened, and that's why I wanted to pull you and literally say like, bro, like a few days like of just being chill and not. Like removing DLD, to be honest, one of the main reasons why I said like I don't want people doing it was because I think it's better and it gives you a clearer pathway if it's off. Because like a lot of times DLD, like we've all been on DLD, problems can arise in DLD even if you're not looking for them, right? Like just by accident shit can go wrong, and I don't want that to happen and then affect your path. So like now that's gone, I think it's even easier. It's just a matter of like being on your shit for the few days, and then when you're in the group, when you do get put back to hang around, like I can be very clear with you and lay out like, right, this is like the do's and don'ts. I'm not gonna fucking babysit you, but I'll make it clear so you know and you understand what is cool and what isn't.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to see that. Like I know I did that shit with Hydra, innit, but I'm not gonna do that if I'm in the group.
Yeah.
Like, with people like that who we're not trying to start shit with. I am trying to get better at listening.
That's all it is, man. Like I'm telling you, bro, with like heightened listening skills, you're probably one of the most valuable people in the group. I'll just be real with you. Like, there's no secret there. There's loads of people in the group that are like really, really valuable and useful, but they hold themselves back by their own things. Like that John being a stirrer. Like, he's a very good addition to the group, but his stirring holds him back. It's just one of them. Like if you pattern the listening, and you know, there's no question when it comes down to stuff like that, and no debate for you being one of the most useful.
Yeah. Well, I just want you to know that I have been trying. I'm like, as long as you want me to, I will continue to try, because I was stuck at a standstill the past day or two. Didn't know what to do anymore, like in terms of gang shit. But I will, and like I do respect you. I hope you know that, because if I didn't, I would have just been robbing people. But I'll literally tell you, I've not done any of that since you've said it. Trying to learn my ways, I'm trying to be better, and that's all I can do.
100%. But that's why I wanted to chat to you, because I wanted to make it known that, you know, just you're very close to being there. And by very close, I'm not just sitting here saying you're very close and I'm just gonna fucking leave you hanging for ages. Like, I'm talking like just keep it clean, like show that you're listening, and I'm happy to move you back in ASAP. Like I said, you already would have been if it weren't for that blip. So I just need to be able to see that that ain't gonna happen again, and then we're cool.
Yeah. I mean, now you see where I am coming from because of that blip, though. Like, I didn't just do it intentionally to cause an issue. I just did that off my own back.
Yeah, I know. I kind of knew that at the time anyway. I knew it was off your own back, but I figured you would have done it even if you was Manor, you know? But obviously you saying that is good to know. Well then, hopefully soon we'll have you back on the panel, and then you could teach me how to race as a fucking Manor member rather than some random.
You know the rules. Do got one thing though.
What?
I wore your flippers recently.
My flippers?
Yeah.
What flippers?
Oh, you had some flippers. I was chilling around at Kylie's, innit? And I don't know, she said your flippers was there, and I just threw them on.
Why has she still got my flippers?
I don't know, but they was comfy though.
Do you mean slippers or flippers?
Flippers.
Flippers?
Slippers, I meant slippers, not flippers.
Slippers?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the fuck has she got a pair of fucking diving flippers at the gaff for?
Yeah, I meant slippers.
My slippers? Oh. You put the Ugg slips on, yeah?
Yeah. Comfy,
Cozy
bro.
though, innit? Hey.
I thought that's why we had like. I thought that was one of the main reasons I'm not hanging around again, because I've been wearing your slippers.
Look, nah, Tez, gang shit aside, you're my brother-in-law. If you want to wear my Ugg slips, bro, be my guest. All right. As long as you're looking after my sister, what's mine is yours.
What's mine is yours, my friend, my brother.
My brother right there.
Let's get your bike back.
Yeah, let's go get
Can
that
you
fucking
track
bike,
it?
you cheeky little bastard.